Jacque, first off, let's talk about the second half. When you see the Hornets go on that run, what changed and what was the difference and how you guys were able to kind of respond there in the couple seconds?
Yeah, I think overall it was one of those games where we jumped out to a lead. Just to be honest with you, an NBA game where that's a well-coached team that will continue to fight back. We relaxed a little bit and kind of paid for it. Good thing we have some pretty good players to execute at the end of the game, which we did for the most part. So love that piece of it. But we just got too comfortable and let them start to get where they want to the rim, to the paint too many times.
And you look at that first half to be able to put up numbers like that. What was working so well? I know you mentioned during pregame that you want to capitalize off of it.
Yeah, we had 20 assists at halftime, which was great to see. We were really moving the basketball, and it was with pace. We've been challenging ourselves a little bit without Ben for someone else to create pace. We were able to do that. Multiple guys had the basketball in their hand, and then we shared it, and we ended up having 20 assists at half.
Jacque, you've talked about managing Royce's minutes in addition to everybody else's. He got off to a slow start tonight. How much of that do you attribute to the workload maybe catching up to him a bit?
It's a little bit of everything, Alex. It definitely is a part of the workload. I will attest to that. Just the cumulative games minutes that he's played and what we've asked him to do, whether that's guard the best dude on the other end, whether that's initiate our offense at time, whether that's rebound the basketball. So he's kind of in that bucket we talked about earlier with guys who do need some time off and reduce minutes, and so he is definitely on the list.
And it looked like he was getting treatment on the bench for something. He took a shot somewhere. Is he good?
Yeah, I asked him, was he okay? He said he was okay throughout the course of the game. I missed the shot at the time underneath the bucket, but I trust him. He said he was good, so let him keep rolling.
Coach, it looked like the Hornets started to go on the run in the second half, and some of the minutes that Kevin was on the bench. Just what did you see during that stretch where he wasn't out there, but the Hornets were rolling?
Yeah, we weren't getting stops. And that was a big thing. I think we had a good enough offensive unit out there to hopefully put pressure on those guys. I mean, that's a pretty good unit we had out there at the time to produce offense, but we didn't keep the ball in front of us. So it was a little bit of combinations, like 2 or 3 offensive rebounds that turned into threes, the ability for Rozier to make some tough shots at the same time. You give him credit, but we didn't get enough stops during that stretch.
I guess following up on that, I mean, they shot about 60% in the fourth quarter. I mean, is that, in your mind, guys kind of pulling away from the game plan, or is that just guys thinking, okay, we have this in the bag, maybe I don't need to give that extra 5% of effort?
I think it's more leaning that direction. It is more, that is the Charlotte Hornets without LaMelo, without Dennis Smith Jr., without Hayward. That is let's get through this game. And that's the good part I said to the team is, we feel good that we won the basketball game, but the overall feel of the game, of the way we didn't execute, that part doesn't feel good. But you're 5-1 at home. You got one more, and that's what I said to the team. Let's be 6-1 in this homestand.
You guys have had your struggles guarding on the perimeter, particularly with some of these smaller guards like a Rozier. As you said, getting in the paint. Do you attribute that to just personnel, to lack of effort? What do you see there?
No, I think overall it's just been inconsistent. I thought overall, you take the Boston game, we were able to stay in front of Tatum and create some turnovers. The biggest part of the individual defense is you can't just think it's individual defense, and if that guy goes by me, then no one's there. So our challenge is Nick's going to guard some guys on the perimeter. Sometimes they're going to go by him. Joe is also. Sometimes they're going to go by him. Where's my teammate at so that they don't get all the way to the rim? That's the challenge. And we weren't there every time tonight. And so that part we'll watch and see where can I come over and help my teammates so they don't get all the way to the rim.
Coach, there was a stretch, I think, in the fourth where you subbed Kyrie in for Nick, and you had that small ball unit of him, Kevin, Royce, Joe, and I think Seth out there at the same time, and that resulted in a pick and roll with Kevin and Kai that led to the Kyrie pull-up. Just what are you seeing from those small ball lineups that you like?
Yeah, Christian, that was an interesting lineup. But, we ran out against them a little bit at their place and tried to put Plumlee in pick and roll. This time we didn't put Plumlee in pick and roll, but we played Kai and Kevin pick and roll in the middle of the floor. So the spacing was good for us. Had a little pin down for Royce to create a little movement for us, and then the floor is open so that if they switch, Kevin has a smaller guy on him, Kai can turn the corner. Getting those two to play together in pick and roll can be lethal for us. You don't see it all the time. It was great for them to kind of produce and see how they can execute at the end of the game together. Thanks, Jimmy. Okay, guys.